Hello, today we will discuss about some ancient methods of the Sisen concerning what is called Sukima no Ho. On these methods are the origins of what has become after that the Aikyu Jutsu practice of our tradition. These methods are composed by 12 studies. Today we will explain 5 of them. The first one is called Jinshin Kasai. Jinshin means human body and Kasai means to put fire or to fire something or someone. The ancient masters used to explain that on this method, after the restriction, the submission, they put some oil or fuel on the enemy when he is incapable to react, and after that put some fire in order to burn the enemy. Then we are dealing with very violent and tough methods. Some lines of our tradition, for example, Yabu line, as Motoshima Sensei explained, say that this method was not with the purpose to restrain or submit the enemy, but to break the joints and the limbs of the enemy, and after that, when he is injured with severe injuries, it's put the fire on them. Then the best way to understand this method, how it applies, to do it with a partner to illustrate it. Then here I have on my left the help of Shidoin Oscar-san. Oscar-san, onegaishimasu. On this method, we could apply on seiso position, but also on tachi position, standing up, and also if he wants to handle a sword, handle any kind of weapon, we could apply. Remember that the conditions here are not the same like Aikyu Jutsu. We are dealing with ancient methods, then the capability to react and the conditions of the environment are different to the normal conditions of the Aikyu Jutsu. Then we have to care about if the enemy wants to strike, want to punch, want to stab, or want to react in any condition. It means that he could react in any circumstance and could try to attack us in any circumstance. Then the technique for this method is the following that I have prepared for you. If we stand on seiso position and he tries to grab me on Hyakuhan Miteku, the first thing that I will do is I will control here with a very violent lock here, wrist lock, on like a kusure teguruma here. The purpose here is to have the control and avoid for first time if he wants to draw any kind of weapon that he could be carrying on the obi, on the belt. Then from here, keeping as the control, I will move forward with the purpose to put the elbow control within his own body, and my other hand slides on the other arm with the purpose to grip the wrist of the enemy here. From here, of course, we could also step on here, and also this, it's a control that we could fire, but this is not the most aesthetic and the most powerful control shibaru that we could perform here. What we could do from here, it's I will retreat, move back with the idea to put here on this position. Take a look, he will be face up, but my left foot will stand here. My left foot is stepping over his left arm, and my calf will make a pressure on the neck here. This arm will be straight at the side of the enemy, putting the palm down to the ground with the idea to make the elbow go up and the wrist. And from here what I will do is to knee over, knee over here. It's very powerful. He's completely restrained. When I bend here the neck, he is incapable to react from here. I release only a little for not damaging my partner. Could you react in any situation here? Or you're restrained?
No, I can't.
Then from here, it's where we will put the oil, the fuel here, and light the fire in order to burn the enemy. This is the most common circumstance to apply on this method. I will release the knee here. I'll take a closest look here. What we will have is this palm. I will release a little here to be capable to put here. You could see what we have is the wrist, also here the elbow, and also the other arm. It's control. My calf will move forward in order to break here. At the same time, he's being burning on fire. Then this is the explanation for the first method of the one that we have reserved for today. Thank you. Okay, the second method for today concerning what is called Sukima no, it's what is called Suiropou. This Sui comes from Mizu, that means water. This Ro comes from a Japanese school, an ancient kind of ore. And finally, the Po comes from method. The idea here would be to employ the limbs of the enemy as they were like an ore, like a staff that we will move from vertical or horizontal with the idea to control in a very powerful move. It would be easier if we apply here with my left, with Shiroin Oscar. What we will perform here is he will try to ask some questions, and in order to understand if he could be capable to react or any question that would be interesting for you to know. Then, as you could see, we are on taxi position, we are standing up. He could also employ any kind of weaponry, but on this technique or on this method we have separated a very interesting technique that you could understand properly what we are having between the hands. Then, in this case, raise mass of your hand. The technique that I have been reserving here is that you will try to attack in a very powerful punch directly to my chest. Here, please try to do it, okay? But you will do it in a very powerful movement. Remember that if I do whatever, for example, if I try to block or I want to make a defense here, for example, he could try to punch with the other or draw a knife, etc., in order to strike me and beat me to the ground. Then the idea here will be the following. When he is entering from here, I will go to this position. Okay? The problem here will be if Oscar-san tries to punch me. If you could see, he could recover on this position and he could try to strike me. Okay? Okay, Oscar-san, could you see it? Okay. Then from here, it won't be interesting to perform this kind of escaping technique. What we will need to do is when we are going here, we will move forward in order to unbalance the enemy having this control. Okay? But of course, someone will say, okay, but with the other, maybe he couldn't reach your face or your body or whatever, but he could maybe with this, for example, if you are here, he could reach maybe your leg that is here. For example, Oscar-san, he could maybe grab, or if he is carrying a tanto, a knife, he could stab maybe on my Achilles tendon or on my heel or whatever of the tendons that I have on my legs. Then it will be also the end for me here. Then the key here will be not to only cross my body here as a way to avoid the reaction. but also to make him to put the palm on the ground. This is the key, because this avoids him to react trying to handle any kind of tanto. From here, from this control, what I will do is I will twist from the wrist here, you could see, from here, in order to go to this position, making that the forearm bends completely from the arm, with the idea of having this powerful control. This is also very painful when you feel it. Then from here, when we are having this control, if I go forward, sorry, Oscar-san, one more time. If I go forward, he could maybe, in a desperate reaction, trying to go over myself, maybe trying to grab here in order to regain any kind of position, or maybe to punch or stab any knife or small blade that he could be carrying. Then the idea is to move in a lateral line in order to avoid any kind of reaction, and from here retreating, making him to go down. Wait, when we are here, we will change the movement with the following idea. The following idea will be to have control on the other arm, because if we go here to the ground, of course, it's also very painful, but independently that this is hard for him to react, he could maybe grab a tanto handle and trying to attack me. If we are not taking the arm properly. Then, one more time, we are here, we have cross, we have twist completely the forearm here on with the hineri, and from here what we will do is I will, on this position, retreat for making him to fall, and after that I will put on this side, because with my leg I will cross, passing over here, that is the neck, the occipital area, and having control on the other arm. From here, we could put him near the body and have this strong control at the same time that I am making a pressure on my calf in order to break. This is one of the possibilities to end here. Of course, what we could do is to have this kote hineri here, to put it on the self trunk, and from here perform a circular movement in order to break, because the ancient masters here used to explain the following thing, that after they have taken out the bone out of the forearm, they used to take it and break. But the idea here is to do it in this circular movement. Of course, it will be very difficult from here if we remember that we were on this position and on this control. Take a look that the idea is to have a horizontal line. The key here is not if we are performing this is bad, because we are giving conditions him to react or whatever. The key here is to have a stress on the shoulder and also the horizontal line on the forearm to make this control. And from here we could go to the ground, because the key here is to stick on the ground, because this is very important. This is the characteristics, the main characteristics that the ancient masters used to explain about this method, to have the control stick it on the ground. And from here, of course, we could knee over and also break or strike in order to break the clavicular bone or also the ribs, because they are very, very exposed here. Then we have the control, if you will see, in a very stable position, the control from the neck, the control from the humerus on the left arm, and also the control to having bended here, stick to the ground, knee over, or if we have the control to knee here, and it's also very, very powerful. Then this is the explanation for Suiropou. Thank you very much. Well, for the third method, today we will explain what it's called Sukima. This Sukima means gap. The meaning is similar to the Suimano. It means that there is one method of the 12 that has the same name, but the kanji are different, despite of being the same meaning. Then this is a specific way to create a gap on the enemy. Then it's very particular and very identical to what it's this is a method that we are explaining today. Then for this method, to illustrate, please, I have Shido and Oscar. He will try on this technique to grab on Aihami Kata Tori with the idea for after that maybe to grab, to handle a tanto and trying to stab me on my stomach, on my tongue, or whatever attack he could try to perform in this situation. We have to remember for this that the Shidoshi used to, for the Shidoshi test, used to have oil and sliding products on the forearms and the wrist as a way if they try to perform any kind of this circumstance, he could slide out and he could react in any kind of to modify the attack in order to perform the reaction. Then on this circumstance we couldn't do something like that, because if we do that, he could take out, he release the arm, and we don't have nothing. We start from the beginning one more time. Then the idea, it will be the following thing. From here I will move and I will move him in order to perform this passage, this path. From here, what we will do here is I will like to explain here a very important thing. Some masters used to say that with this wrist you could put it inside the himo, inside the himo of the haori. Remember that the himo of the haori himo, it's a rope that you will have in the jacket, the traditional Japanese jacket, and it has a small rope. It's a braided rope that it's more known as haori kumi himo. That means that it's a braided rope. Then, but this is not true, because this kind of rope it's weak. If he tries to take out, of sure that the haori, the jacket, will tear, and it would be a good way to restrain the wrist. Then the most common way to do it, if you after that you move, you control the forearm close to your body, and here you could maybe use your own tatsuki as a way to restrain here the wrist, or also you could put it inside your own gi. If you have this hand, if you have the other, the only capability will be to use your own tap. Then from here, one more time, we move, join to us, and after that we pass in order to control the other side, but having the elbow to this side and going forward with the idea to bend back the back of the enemy, having this control. I will move right now in order to explain better what is happening here. One more time. One, close to me. I move, entering and passing backward. And what we have, you could see that it's turn a little. That the control, I have here the elbow on my front side, on my pit, and I have this control. With these hands, I could also grip his own tatsuki as a way to control also with a more powerful move. With here, if I fall directly to the ground, I will break completely what is the neck when he falls. Then one more time, when we have here, we will go right now very slowly and taking care of my partner here. I will fall to the ground, take care of what is happening here, and from here I grab here on this position. From here I will move here in order that the shoulder point forward, because the key here is to control on the shoulder here. My foot here cross and controls, and from here moves in a way to control. I ask my partner if he feels control, of if he consider that he could react or trying to escape here. How do you feel?
I can escape.
Okay, because here we have this control. Of course, we could move here, and also we have the gap. The gap, it has been the position very uncomfortable that we have had when he was bended, and right now this condition that it's pressing on the elbow here, and it's impossible. We could perform on several conditions. If we have here, we have the same control. It's also a very characteristic technique from this method, Sukima, that you could understand that independently that it seems that he is not restrained at all, the pressure is so intense. Then it's impossible, because the pressure is going to the shoulder and it's very painful, and it will injure completely the arm if I continue with this pressure. Then this is a quick explanation for this one of 12 methods called Sukima. Thank you very much. Let's go to the fourth one, Mukeijin. This is the fourth method studied today. Mu comes from empty or emptiness. This K comes from kata, Jin comes from person. Then it's the way to make an empty form on the person. It could be for the novice very similar to the last one, Sukimano, the Sukima itself. But it's different because we will find the emptiness inside the inner body. We won't perform the gap as the body itself. We will do it inside, a special part of the body of the enemy. Then in this case, we will continue with Gyaku Hanite Kumitori graph here. When he will be trying to catch here, the first thing, one more time, right now, is to find at the same time, my right arm makes the control on the back of the hand here. At the same time, my other arm remains straight or partially straight from here. After that, we will need to control on this position to grab the condition to extend completely the fingers of the body from here. From that point, the key here, we could control the enemy. We will go to the back side in order to control the other arm, as you can see. What I will do is to have this control with both, and from here we will go to the ground, having this arm control at the same time. From this position, what we will need is having control on the acromion and also on all the shoulder, and this means all this scapular waist. What we will do is to make him to, with my palm, with my tarsal, I will push and at the same time make the face go down to the ground, making an extension, stretching, and at the same time the pressure are transferred to the shoulder. At the same time I am moving, and from here we have this powerful lock, this powerful control, submission of the enemy by applying a strong push technique here and at the same time the control here. From here we could keep on Seiza position, and this is a very powerful to end and finding what has been this method that it's called the Mukeijin, that it's the emptiness from the body. Then this you have to keep control, to understand that we are having the extension on the shoulder, we are having control on the other arm, that it's in this position that enables to draw any kind of tanto. We have the extension here on these fingers, making an opening of the wrist and transferring the full power to the shoulder. At the same time, my pressure makes him impossible to escape. Could you react in any way? I release a little. Are you restrained, Oscar-san?
Yes.
Okay, then this is one of the sequences that I have reserved in this case for explaining the Mukeijin. Thank you. Well, the last one for today of this method that we are studying of Sukima no, it's what is called Seiseki. Seiseki, it's composed by two kanji. This sei comes from the verb kudaku, that means to smash, and the second one, seki, comes from ishi, that means stone. Then it's like smashing the stones. The stones on this method is referred to apparently strong areas of the body, like the head or the hips or other points, maybe the ankles, that will be very strong with the bones that they have, but we will generate conditions to break them, to smash them. Then for that we need to create a position that will get weaker those spots in order to perform a final movement that will smash, will break this spot. Then, with the help of Sido and Oscar, please, onegaishimasu, he will grab me by my back on Ushiro Hagajime, controlling my trunk and both arms here. I will make a movement to open. Remember that we are dealing with a very strong man. He won't release in any way, and he could try here to fight and throw me to the ground. Then we need to perform it in a very strong way and also effective movement. Then from here, my left hand goes here and have control, one more time, from here, to have this control on the fingers on the right hand, that it's a kote hineri, that we will see here. My left arm controls the wrist, and from here I will pass to his back in order to cover with the kote hineri and controlling the elbow and having the other arm completely straight. Having this both control, I could move backward, retreat, in order to also make the head go inside my armpit and having this emptiness on his back that will control him. From here, don't retreat, go downward on this movement in order to perform the first breaking technique. From here, we need to keep the head on the back, on the side of my hips, and from here I will extend the other arm. From here, the idea is to make a movement of twisting on the trunk, on the body, keeping the control on the fingers that we have on the kote hineri and the extension on the elbow. At the same time, my trunk, my body is moving on a counter movement, and also making the torsion on the head, that this is the painful and the very harmful technique that could cause serious injuries to the enemy. Because if you will see, we have here the head, we have it control on this point, and from here we could If I perform strong this movement, the body will turn, but the head will keep here close to my hips. Then it will be a very painful and a smashing technique to the head of the enemy. Then we need to perform it very carefully, as I have demonstrated. But this is an illustration of how violent, how tough are these methods, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching all this video with the 5 methods. See you on next videos, and thank you for following our channel. See you next time.